Good day, everyone. I am Seanne Soliva from Bachelor of Engineering Technology 1B, and today I was tasked to discuss what is Domain Name System, or also known as DNS. Domain Name System, or DNS, turns domain names into IP addresses, which browsers use to load internet pages. Every device connected to the internet has its own IP address, which is used by other devices to locate the device. DNS servers make it possible for people to input normal words into their browsers, such as Fortinet.com, without having to keep track of the IP address for every website. So what is DNS server? A DNS server is a computer with a database containing the public IP addresses associated with the names of the websites an IP address brings a user to. DNS acts like a phone book for the internet. Whenever people type domain names like Fortinet.com or Yahoo.com into the address bar of web browsers, the domain name system finds the right IP address. The site's IP address is what directs the device to go to the correct place to access the site's data. Once the DNS server finds the correct IP address, browsers take the address and use it to send data to Content Delivery Network or CDN, edge servers, or origin servers. Once this is done, the information on the website can be accessed by the user. The DNS server starts the process by finding the corresponding IP address for a website's Uniform Resource Locator or URL. So how does DNS work? In a usual DNS query, the DNS the URL typed in by the user has to go through four servers for the IP address to be provided. The four servers work with each other to get the correct IP address to the client. So as what you can see on the screen, we have here how a DNS works with the four steps. First, we have DNS recursor. Second, the root name servers. Third, TLD name servers. And lastly, the authoritative name servers. So let me define to you these four steps. First, the DNS recursor. The DNS recursor, which is also referred to as a DNS resolver, receives the query from the DNS client. Then it communicates with other DNS servers to find the right IP address. After the resolver retrieves the request from the client, the resolver acts like a client itself. As it does this, it makes queries that get sent to the other three DNS servers, such as root name servers, top-level domain or TLD name servers, and authoritative name servers. Next, we have root name servers. The root name server is designated for the Internet's DNS root zone. Its job is to answer requests sent to it for records in the root zone. It answers requests by sending back a list of the authoritative name servers that go with the correct TLD. Next, we have the TLD name servers. A TLD name server keeps the IP address of the second level domain contained within the TLD name. It then releases the website's IP address and sends the query to the domain's name server. And lastly, we have authoritative name servers. An authoritative name server is what gives you the real answer to your DNS query. There are two types of authoritative name servers, namely a master server or primary name server, and the second one is a slave server or the secondary name server. So the master server keeps the original copies of the zone records, while the slave server is an exact copy of the master server. It shares the DNS server load and acts as a backup if the master server fails. So I have here the three best DNS servers according to Fortinet.com. First, we have Cloudflare. This is a simple to use DNS service that comes with tutorials for all of the most popular operating systems such as Mac, Windows, Android, iOS, and Linux. Users can also use Cloudflare service to block adult contents. The second one, we have the Google Public DNS. The Google Public DNS service is different from Cloudflare's in that it is designed for more technically adept user, but you can find tutorials if needed. And the last one, we have Quad9. Quad9's DNS service is renowned for its fast performance. It also claims to block malicious sites using threat intelligence data. Recursive DNS server. After a user types in a URL in their web browser, that URL is given to the recursive DNS server. The recursive DNS server then examines its cache memory to see whether the IP address for the URL is already stored. If the IP address information already exists, the recursive DNS server will send the IP address to the browser. The user is then able to see the website for which they typed in the URL. On the other hand, if the recursive DNS server does not find the IP address when it searches its memory, it will proceed through the process of getting the IP address for the user. The recursive DNS server's next step is to use the IP address for a specific amount of time. This period of time is defined by the person who owns the domain using a setting referred to as time to live or TTL. So that was domain name system. Again, I am Sean Austin G. Soliva from Bachelor of Engineering Technology, 1B on Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas. Thank you and have a great day.